So, good morning. It's the Capture Christmas webinar today, and I'm going to be talking about Cinegy Capture, specifically about the brand new Cinegy Capture 14 and the features and benefits thereof. I'll be showing later on a few direct bits and pieces as a demo, and I'll be talking about a couple of new bundle deals that we've put together. So, to kick off, let's just summarize quickly again. So, talk all about Cinegy Capture Pro, also about Solo, Duo and Quad, a quick note on who's using it, what's new in Capture version 14, aforementioned bundles, a quick demo, and then questions if there are any. So, Cinegy Capture Pro can capture video from SDI, NDI, RTP, UTP, and SRT up to 8K resolution. All of the standard broadcast codecs and wrappers are supported. Please note we say broadcast, so it won't work with streaming formats, HLS, RTMP, RTSP, no good to us. We only take the full quality for broadcast video. It's very straightforward to scale because the client server architecture allows us to scale out, simply add more servers as we need them. And it can go up to very large installations indeed, as we shall see. We have a client-server interface, a client-server architecture with the interface decoupled. That means you can set up your records and then close the controller and walk away, and they will happen anyway. Very flexible. We have a direct control interface. We also have a web client interface and a scheduler to allow you to record automatically without using an interface at all. You can capture directly into Cinegy Archive or write to Avid format folder structures. You can play out and edit whilst you're ingesting using Capture with the appropriate codec and wrapper combination. You can perform a simultaneous capture to multiple destinations, multiple storage destinations, multiple formats, and you can fit 32 independent channels onto one single server. That's an awful lot of recording. So we also offer, apart from Pro, which is our Pro version, we also offer Solo, Duo and Quad. Solo, Duo and Quad give you up to 4 licenses on a single machine, and those licenses can be capture or playout. So it gives you the possibility of 4 captures, 4 playouts, 2 of each, whichever you'd like. 2 ins and 2 outs and a bit of storage, and you've got a Grass Valley K2 for cheap. Very flexible configuration. There is no remote interface and no Cinegy Archive integration in this particular configuration. It's specifically designed more as a video server than as an ingest station, but it's there, it's inexpensive, and it's a very flexible product, a Swiss Army knife for broadcast studios. So who's using Capture Pro? The example that we love to talk about, well, because we would, Major League Baseball. Now, Major League Baseball, America's pastime, the boys of summer, yeah, they could have picked anybody for their capture solution, but they came to us because we could do all of these things for them and in a half a rack of space. So 28 playout channels, 212 simultaneous HD captures, 256 channels of multi-viewer, all set up, monitored and managed by our professional services team before handing over to the customer. And it integrates to their MAM. Their MAM, note, not our MAM. We can actually be very flexible in terms of what we interface to, and we were able to plug into their existing MAM system. So this is a huge installation, as I said, and it all fits into half a rack. And for me, I have to say, it always amazes me to see that whenever I see baseball on the television and it's not actually live, it's probably coming from Cinegy. That's a startling thought. So Capture 14 is out, and what's it got? The first thing is 8K. Now we've been working, as our loyal fans will know, we've been working in 8K now for a while, and gradually it's been coming more and more directly into our product line. 8K is supporting Capture 14 and was even demonstrated a couple of months ago at IBC, where we had a full end-to-end 8K production workflow using a screen and camera loaned to us by Sharp. So 8K came in, was captured in Capture, was stored in Archive, was played out using Cinegy Air, all seamless. So much so that people thought we were spoofing it. There was smoke and mirrors, but it wasn't. It was for real. Very big feature coming in is SRT. We love SRT. We've been telling the world about it. SRT is a way of sending contributions across the public internet. So there's no need anymore for leased lines or satellite uplinks or any of that expensive stuff. All you need is a decent bandwidth connection between 2 points, and you can send broadcast video across the internet using the secure, reliable transport protocol. So we have it implemented. It now works as an input, so you can see, and you will see, in fact, in the demo, contributions coming from anywhere. This completely changes the nature of broadcasting. It changes the nature of television. My thing about it, I say it's the most important thing to happen since DVB. But it's supported in Air, as it is in our Cinegy Route, as it is in our Cinegy Capture, and as a result, we are able to build and test all sorts of different configurations now that didn't used to be possible unless you had some expensive intermediary service or software running. So we have one of the things when you're setting up, when you first sort of set the machine up and everything, if you're not working with baseband, sometimes you don't have a handy signal to test. This has been a running problem with our software in general, and so as we have with Multiviewer and with Air, we have now added a webcam input as an ingest source. This allows you just to pick your webcam, run the signal through from that, make sure everything's up and running before you get your actual signals working. We also have an engine monitor panel. The thing up to now is that Cinegy Capture does what it does so well and so quietly. People perhaps didn't understand just exactly how much of their system's resources were being eaten. So in order to give you much better control over what's going on, we have significantly beefed up our monitoring, and we have now an engine dashboard that shows you exactly what's going on with the engine as the recording is happening. And of course, this is visible in the control interface, so that you can, wherever you are, you can see how it's doing. There's a dashboard that allows you to see all of your engines in one go. We have brought in AAF creation for OP Atoms, so that you can basically drop a ready captured ingested file into the Avid environment, and it will be picked up straight away. We have watermark imprinting for protecting stuff that you own. We also have added in our Elastic Cloud Grafana system support, so that you can monitor what you're doing by sending telemetry up to our cloud and then seeing everything plotted out in graphs. You've had the possibility of ignoring a midnight split, so recording across 2 days. This is a new feature. We have MXF in H.264 was a Windows thing, made that difficult. It's now supported as this new XAVC 100 format. And also the transport stream wrapper, which we haven't used up to now, but again is starting to appear in our products. And crucially, we have added a great deal of offload. Again, our fan club knows that we've been using GPU offload now for a couple of years, and it's been again spreading across our product range, and in Capture as well. It's coming in. We're coming into the point where we are offloading more and more to the GPU, which frees up CPUs for data management, for moving stuff around, and for non-GPU codecs like XDCAM, which is always going to run off of CPU anyway. So we have bundle deals. What we've done now is we've put together straightforward deals for Capture Pro, the Capture Christmas deals, and these give you a capture system with 4 capture channels for $5,990 or €5,375, and 8 channels for $9,990 or €8,955. So this covers price per server and 12 months of upgrades. This is effectively equivalent to our base level support, and that's thrown in for free. So effectively it's a 10% discount on our products with these. The main thing about it is that it gives you a way of ordering 4s, 8s or multiples thereof without messing around with one base and additional, because that's the way our software works. You would normally buy the Capture base, and then you would add channels to that. By going for these options, you can buy 4 or 8 in one go, base and additional channels, just as a single SKU. It's just a tidier and more convenient way of ordering stuff. So the 10% deal is going to work up until the week before Christmas, hence Capture Christmas. So if you have some prospects that are out there, this might well be a way of speeding things along. Get it in there before the end of the year. So let's have a quick look at the software itself in operation. So I'll just tuck some stuff out of the way here, and we'll start with the configurator. So here we can see our configurator. For those of you who are new, this is the back end, this is the server end of Cinegy Capture, where your signals will come in and be managed by our capture services here. And we can add the capture services exactly as we need them. I have 8 capture services set up on this machine. I actually had 10 at one point, which should show you how flexible capture can be, since this is not this is a basic desktop workstation. It's a 6-core processor, i7-3960X, and yet I can perform 8 SD captures on it. So from a point of view of system sizing and scaling, as we move stuff off to the GPU, it means that you can get more and more out of each server that you install. Here we can see the preview screen and all the details. We can see that we have an RTP stream coming in with a shared RAM preview going out. This refers to our database system, which monitors all the available resources and brokers stuff, the work in between. Nothing much really to see there. Possibility of backing it up. Going to 14 from, sorry about that. Going to 14 from 12 will require a database upgrade, but it's performed during the software installation itself. There's nothing you need to do, just quite straightforward. Just click and say yes. The dashboard has some added functionality now. We can see on an ongoing basis how much CPU and GPU are being used by the application at a glance, as well as the amount of disk in use. The color scheme on this version is not particularly useful, but you can see how many resources there are, etc., and very directly how much your system is actually being used. And oh, that's stepped up. I wonder why. Oh, Okay, and then again, in here, as in air, if you've got incoming signals, you can send a cross point. We have customers doing this who send a cross point just a few seconds before, just to make sure that you've got exactly the right baseband signal coming in from your router. Controllable from here, use the same structure and mechanism as Cinegy Air does, for those who are familiar with that. Here is the telemetry setup, so you can send telemetry information to our elastic cloud, and it will the data will be stored there, graphed up for you. It's your own little sandbox, completely independent from everybody else, and which is why it talks about an organization ID. When you contact us, we give you your organization ID, and after that, you can see your stuff and nobody else. And then, yes, it's got changes that haven't been saved, but you know, I'm a wild and crazy guy. And then here we can see the archive adapter in operation. The archive adapter brokers a connection into the Cinegy Media Asset Management System. Allows us to do multi-resolution captures, as we are used to doing in our MAM system, and we are connected up, and the green pending means that we are ready to work. So what else can we do here? Well, if I install this service and start it, this one is a slightly unusual setup, and I will show you why. The service has to find its license and start, and when it starts, there we can see 4 little screens going. So what are these 4 little screens that we're looking at here? Well, we are looking at an SRT feed from Nuremberg. I am sitting in the Netherlands near Amsterdam, and my input is coming across the internet from Nuremberg using SRT. The image in the lower right is from my telephone, and which is just knocked on its back and is showing the ceiling here. So this is all coming from an air instance across the public internet to me. This is coming by SRT some 900 kilometers to my capture system. So I can now go to my capture control, and I can add that engine. And we should see, oh, that's a different engine. There we go. And now we can see our capture service here. And again, with a smooth streaming preview. So SRT is being fed here. This is German television, 720p being upscaled to 1080p and sent via SRT. This is up in the guy at the microphone is queued, a queued air playout waiting, and here, as I say, we can see my telephone camera configured into the bottom corner there, and looking up at my ceiling and another one of my monitors. But this is again going from SRT straight into Cinegy. So from here I can see straight away the CPU getting near 70%, so it's up to yellow to let me know what I'm doing. For each signal that I select, we can see in each particular case the video format, the number of channels in use, and a whole bunch of useful statistics now. Give us a much more, much clearer view of what the machine is doing as it's doing the capture. Much better control. Here we see the CAS connection again for allowing us to connect into Cinegy Archive. If I have a look here, I can look at the capture template. Each of these screens will be recorded using a capture template, and here we see the template with high and medium settings for ingesting into Cinegy Archive, and we also have, I believe, yes we do, a template simply for ingesting to files. This will ingest simultaneously XDCAM 50 into one file and a little 5 megabit NVIDIA encoded H.264 into an MP4 in a separate directory. So 2 simultaneous recordings side by side. As ever with Cinegy Capture, we also support things like auto splitting, we support time codes, we support gang recording to allow you to set up a group of engines together and record them all at once with locked time code. That's visible here. And the scheduler is visible here, but of course we have an external scheduler that runs as well. So if we were just to pick one of these, we could apply we would need to create a template here. So new template. I need to set my resolution, which is already gathered. It's a standalone template, and I can say, okay, coming in at 720p, we'll have that as XDCAM 50, and oops, and in a MXF wrapper, and we will park that. Oh, no audio on it, so and I'll park that on in my demo directory, and here we go. Okay, and now we are ready to go. That's all I need to do, and from here I can now, for that input, I can select record, and it will start writing my file. Now we can see now that as I start up, it tells me that I've got 48 hours of space left. That's because I've got about a terabyte spare, just a little bit more than a terabyte. 40 hours of XDCAM fit into a terabyte. We're using quite a lot of CPU now because it's XDCAM, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And we have our encoding and write buffers visible. Some people who've been trying out Capture have been bewildered sometimes that when you finish capturing, it takes a long time to write the files. It does take a long time to write the files because we buffer a lot. And here you'll get a picture of the buffer as it's being managed, so that you'll be able to tell when the session will actually close. So I can hit stop here to end the session. And when I hit stop, you can see that we are still ticking over a little bit. The engine is ready for another record. I can now go to my demos folder, and I will find a clip from this morning, and here it is, which I can pull up in our Cinegy player, and there we have it. So here is our clip that I have just made, and that's it, as simple as that. Straightforward recording, and straight into one file or multiple files, or straight into Cinegy Archive, which I can also demonstrate simply by going to Cinegy Desktop and specifying a different input. From desktop, we can call Capture straight away, so we have the full benefits of a media asset management system along with our Capture performance, and so we can also directly associate metadata with the incoming video and make it immediately available for editing, for collaboration, for logging, for whatever else is required of it. So when my desktop starts up here, I can simply go to my module selector and select the capture input, and it will allow me to see the capture control interface directly from my Cinegy desktop. Here we can see our new system. Now I've started capture, so it's already open. So from here I can select instead a different input. We can go to our tomato eating gentleman here, and we can say I want to record that into archive. Should I do this one? Yeah, put this one into archive. So all I need to do here is press record, and I can go back to my Cinegy archive, and I can go to my master clip folder, and it should start showing me, and there it is. So I can now open the clip, or the roll I should say, and as it fills in, it's showing me media offline. There we are. So while we're still ingesting now, I can already be viewing, editing, handling. As soon as I've finished with the ingest, I simply hit the stop here, and I can go back, and it's ready for me to work on in Cinegy Archive with metadata already, basic metadata already included, although I haven't actually configured any, but we see there's some basic metadata already in there. So that gives us the overview then of Cinegy Capture, and all that's really left now is to ask, has anybody got any questions for me now? Just open up in case anybody's put a chat in. Oh, it's saying good morning. So, all right, that was pretty much it for the demo. If anybody has got any questions, you can ask me now, or just drop a line into sales@cinegy.com. Our usual rules apply with regard to demo licenses, as many as you like, as long as you like. Let us know if you have anything coming that might be a good prospect for Cinegy Capture, so that we can help you bring in the business. And for the rest, thank you very much for your time this morning, and I hope it's been useful to you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Cinegy webinar. So, no, you're welcome, Hussein. Okay, guys, so thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.